The world of motorsport has historically remained a male-dominated environment, but over the years the tide has been turning and more women are breaking into the world of motorsport, defying stereotypes and challenging perceptions. Stay tuned as we take a thrilling ride through the world of women in Formula One. Formula One may be associated with male dominance, but it's worth noting that the first women to compete in a Grand Prix appeared on the scene within a decade of the championship's inception. In 1958, Maria Teresa de Filippis made history by attempting to qualify for the Monaco Grand Prix in a privately entered Maserati 250F. Despite not making the cut, she didn't have to wait long for her full race debut, which came at the Belgian GP just a month later. De Filippis faced some of the toughest competition of her era at the notoriously dangerous Spa-Francorchamps circuit, where she qualified 19th and finished 10th. Her performance earned her 2 more race appearances that season in Portugal and at Monza, although engine problems forced her to retire on both occasions. Despite facing prejudice and skepticism from her male competitors, she proved herself to be a skilled and competitive driver, earning the respect of even the most legendary names in the sport. One of her biggest supporters was none other than Juan Manuel Fangio, widely considered one of the greatest drivers of all time. Fangio recognized De Filippi's talent and took her under his wing, offering advice and guidance as she pursued her dream of racing. However, De Filippis was also acutely aware of the risks involved in racing, having witnessed firsthand the tragic loss of her friend and fellow driver, Jean Berra, in a sports car race. This experience led her to reassess her priorities and ultimately decide to retire from racing, choosing instead to focus on other pursuits. It was another 15 years before a woman was again seen in an F1 field. Lella Lombardi, an Italian driver, made history in 1975 by becoming the first and only woman to score points in a Formula One race. Lombardi competed in 12 races between 1974 and 1976, before moving on to sports cars. In the decades that followed, 3 other female drivers, including Britain's Davina Gallica, South Africa's Desiree Wilson, and Italy's Giovanna Amati, all tried and failed to qualify for F1 races. After Amati's final attempt in 1992, it would be another 22 years before a woman even took to the track in a practice session. In 2014, Susie Wolff, a former DTM driver and wife of Mercedes boss Toto, was given her chance by Williams after 2 years as a development driver. She had 4 practice sessions, but ultimately decided that paths to make further progress were not going to materialize. So why has there been such a prolonged absence of female drivers from the F1 grid? For so long, it's been a purely numbers issue. If you take, let's say, 1,000 karters competing at a junior level for so long, 1 or 2 of those have been girls. When only 5 of those 1,000 make it to a junior racing series, and only 1 of those maybe makes it to Formula One, the chance of it being one of those 2 girls is slim. So that's why, as great as the W Series has been, the real change has to be at the grassroots level. Opportunity is key too. We'll never know how many women were talented enough to have a shot at Formula One but didn't have a chance to make it in F1. That's true of a lot of racing drivers in general. The opportunity, the money, the timing, it all has to play a part. No rules prevent women from competing in Formula One, but the pipeline of young female drivers is a trickle, and they face additional hurdles, including a lack of confidence. The F1 Academy's initiative for women drivers, led by Susie Wolff, is a step in the right direction. By providing greater access to resources and support for female drivers, the initiative aims to increase the number of women competing at a junior level and ultimately make it to the top level of the sport. But the success of the initiative will also depend on addressing and dismantling the systemic barriers that have historically kept women from entering the sport. The F1 Academy will subsidize the budgets for 15 women who drive for 5 teams. Another initiative is More Than Equal, a non-profit launched last year with the sole purpose of putting a woman on the podium. More Than Equal will scout the world for talented young female drivers and then nurture them to success. It's heartening to see F1 taking a more proactive approach to increasing diversity and inclusion in the sport. While progress may be slow, initiatives like these are crucial in creating a more equitable and inclusive motorsport industry for all. If you're enjoying this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks. David Coulthard believes that if More Than Equal can find young girls from all over the world that have the desire and hunger to be a race car driver, then the initiative can put together a support system that will provide the resources needed to help them get into F1. Above all, More Than Equal will strive to provide young girls with the same opportunities and support as young boys at the earliest stage in their racing career, so they have plenty of time to achieve the goal of making it into F1 within 10 years. At the moment, the pathway into F1 feels like a daunting one, filled with uncertainty for female drivers, but the future looks promising because of initiatives like More Than Equal. With the proper support and financial backing over the course of their racing careers, female drivers are becoming one step closer to breaking the barriers into F1. But even though there has not been a woman driver in Formula One race for more than 40 years, there are certain women that are contributing immensely to the sport behind the scenes. Let's look at a few of them. Let's begin with Cristina Emanuides, a computational fluid dynamics development engineer at Alfa Romeo, who is a prime example of the brilliant minds powering the sport. Hailing from Melbourne, she left her hometown to pursue a degree in motorsport engineering at Oxford Brookes University and later obtained her master's degree at Durham University. Christina's work involves designing and maintaining the software used in aerodynamic computer simulations for the team, a crucial aspect of performance optimization in F1. Moreover, she's also an industry ambassador for Racing Pride, a campaign striving for LGBTQ+ inclusivity in motorsport. Another woman making waves in F1 is Fabiana Valenti, the head of communications at AlphaTauri, having been a senior press officer for the team since their Minardi and Toro Rosso days. She's a familiar face in the F1 paddock. Fabiana's responsibilities include managing the team's media relations, scheduling interviews, and coordinating PR activities. She's a key planner in ensuring the team's public image remains top-notch amidst the busy and often chaotic F1 season. Alex Thompson and Bernadette Collins are two other women making their mark in the male-dominated world of Formula One. With their impressive educational backgrounds and experience in the industry, they have both excelled in their respective roles. Alex's passion for F1 led her to create her own blog, which ultimately opened the door to a career in media and communications within the sport. Her journey from a blogger to a digital media officer at Alpine is a testament to her hard work and dedication. Similarly, Bernadette's passion for engineering and motorsport led her to become a performance engineer at McLaren before moving on to work as a race strategist at Force India and eventually landing the role of head of race strategy at Aston Martin. Her achievements highlight the importance of diversity in F1 and the potential for women to make a significant impact in the industry. Hannah Schmitz, a graduate of the prestigious University of Cambridge, has been an integral part of Red Bull's strategy team for over a decade, using her expertise in mechanical engineering to help guide the team to victory. Her decision to call Max Verstappen in for a third pit stop at the 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix was a critical factor in securing the team's win. Meanwhile, Claire Sibley, also a Cambridge alumna, is responsible for ensuring the quality and efficiency of parts productions at Williams. With her background in materials science and experience at Mercedes, she has worked her way up the ranks to become the head of quality and manufacturing engineering at the team's factory in Grove. While the presence of females in motorsport keeps growing over the years, work is still needed to ensure that they have equal opportunities to that of their male competitors. Now more than ever is the time for young girls and women to receive the support and financial backing needed to overcome all the barriers preventing them from competing at the top level of motorsport alongside male drivers across all racing series. In years to come, certain women could potentially break into the F1 racing scene. Jamie Chadwick, for instance, has been making waves in the racing world as a driver for Williams Academy and a 3-time winner of the W Series, a championship exclusively for women drivers. Her success has caught the attention of many and sparked hope that she could potentially break into F1 in the future. But she's not just the only one. At just 15 years old, Macy Hitter has already been racing go-karts for 7 years, amassing a remarkable collection of trophies at her home in Griston, England. Her passion for motorsports and impressive skills have already caught the attention of racing scouts, who have been keeping a close eye on her progress. With such promising talents like Chadwick and Hitter, the future of women in F1 looks bright, and it's only a matter of time before the glass ceiling is shattered. Now over to you, what's your thought about women racing in Formula One? Let us know in the comments section below. That will be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more amazing videos like this. See you in the next video.